A year ago, my friend, her name was Asia Abdul Wahid. She committed suicide a year ago on 11/10/16. So that would be November 10th, 2016. It's a little over a year ago now. She was 15 years old, wasn't maybe 15 or 16, and when she tweeted out something, as you can see right here, the day she committed suicide. It said, "Glad I had peace with everybody in my life. Now I'm able to kindly leave." And what it's kind of saying is like, glad I made everybody happy. Now I'm able to leave. She was very depressed. A lot of people knew about it and they were trying to help her, but I guess people weren't helping her that much. Because she committed suicide. But I did see this tweet before she committed suicide, and I didn't understand what she was saying. You know how Twitter, people be posting a lot of like sad things on it, which they don't really mean. And I thought this was like another one of that. And before that tweet, there's like tweets like, what is the point of life? Just need closure. Sad face. Like all these tweets like bringing herself down and like all this. And she changed her profile to just this. And what she actually looks like, I don't know if you guys could see that, but she's very beautiful. And I just never, like, before this ever happened, I didn't know that suicide was like this serious, where people would actually take their life. But when you're depressed, I've heard that you think of the worst things to do. You think so crazy, your mind just doesn't comprehend like the right from wrong, like what's crazy or not. So people, when they're depressed, people will do literally anything, and suicide is one of the anythings that they'll do. And so I'm gonna make this video serious because I think it needs to be serious for a message to get out that just because it hasn't happened to you yet doesn't mean it will happen to you. Doesn't mean it won't happen to you. So if you have a friend that's depressed, make sure he or she, it's not like, help him out is what I'm trying to say. Like, I wish I would have helped more, because I didn't realize it was that serious. I wish I would have helped more, but I'm gonna be watching Logan Paul's new video. I haven't seen it yet. It's #1 on trending, so I guess it's got to be important if it's #1 on trending. So let's get right into the video. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys click that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. I'm not usually like that. I'm not usually like down like this, but I think this has to be serious. So sorry for the long intro. Let's get right into the video. Less than 3 hours, I think. So let's get right into it. I'm sorry if I don't talk a lot.
For 40 minutes, crying like a baby. Bikers, joggers, tourists, runners, they went by me. Police officers searching for suicidal people went by me twice. I'm standing at the ledge, leaning over the rail with tears flowing down to the waters. And I thought to myself, absolutely nobody cares. And then the voice in my head said, jump now, and I did. And the millisecond that my hands cleared the rail and my legs flew over it was an instant regret.
Wow.
The depression was wiped from my mind, and all I wanted to do was live, and I thought it's too late.
Kevin Hines was 19 when he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. He is one of the many incredible people that I've been grateful to meet over the past 3 weeks as I aim to further understand the complexities surrounding suicide. And I know I've made mistakes.
Wow.
I know I've let people down. But what happens when you're given an opportunity to help make a difference in the world?
The backlash against the social media star.
A very popular guy called
Logan Paul is in some hot
He's
water.
a complete and utter insensitive idiot.
Taking a break from daily vlogging.
Even he says his latest content was his biggest mistake.
I want to apologize to the victim and his family.
So starting off, this video is serious. This is like more of like a suicide like help. Like I can tell it's like a suicide help like thing, which I'm liking it so far. I mean, Logan Paul did mess up, like but so far so good. I'm not saying that he's forgiven because of this one video, just fully forgiven, but he's taking a good step in the right way.
It's time to learn from the past as they get better and grow as a human being. I'm here to have a hard conversation so that those who are suffering can have easier ones. So I've never been so humbled in my life by a single event.
Were you kind of shocked by it?
I was shocked to discover just how big this is.
You've never known anybody that killed themselves?
No one. No one.
See,
that was part of the problem. It's just my ignorance on the subject.
But in Ohio,
like look, like he didn't realize how big it was until because it's never happened to him. So you guys gotta know how big it is, because even though it hasn't happened to you, it's a big deal.
where you come from, it's the second leading cause of death.
And I know while I'm not able to solve the problem by myself, I want to be a part of the solution. And that solution began across the country in New York City. We sat down with Dr. John Draper, director of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
We have to change the conversation publicly from just focusing on suicide and how something bad is happening and say, well, what do we do about it? Help people understand that the first thing they need to do is reach out and talk to somebody when they're feeling despair. Because you're not alone with it anymore. They've done studies with people who are experiencing any kind of pain, including hanging off a cliff. You can hold on a lot longer if somebody is right there with you.
That's deep. That's facts.
I think as a society, as human beings, we just have to be more compassionate. And that includes me too. That's something I'm learning along this journey. And something else that Dr. Draper told me were the 5 steps that anyone can take to help prevent suicide. Step 1 is simply just ask. Ask yourself, ask others, are you thinking about suicide? And I know that sounds like a daunting question, but literally that question can save lives. And step 2, accordingly, would be just to listen. Be present. Don't make any judgments. And then step 3 would be there for them, even after you've already asked, because dependability is key. Step 4 is then help them connect, whether it's with a friend, a family member, a local suicide hotline, therapist, but help them reach out to someone.
You guys listening to this?
Just alone. Lastly, step 5 is just check in with them,
right
show them that you care. Call them up, say, hey, I want to make sure you're okay. Can I check in with you over the next few days?
So one of the things that is so important about reducing stigma is getting stories out there about people positively coping with suicide.
Do you guys know anyone I could talk to with the lived experience of suicide?
Absolutely. We have quite a number of people that we could refer over to you. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And that's how we got introduced to Kevin Hines. 17 years ago, Kevin jumped off of the Golden Gate Bridge and survived.
That's crazy. He survived.
These are individuals whose stories, when people hear them, they say, you know, maybe I can get through. As opposed to hearing stories when people haven't. And those are, unfortunately, those are the stories that we've heard before. Now we're hearing more and more stories of people being more open about it. And as I was saying before, Logan, for every one person that dies by suicide, there's 287 other people that think seriously about it but don't. Those are stories, again, that have not been told. If we told those stories of people who got through it as opposed to one who didn't, imagine what kind of influence that would have on people's behavior.
Yeah, that is.
When I found out,
that is right. People talk about the negative too much and forget about the whole positive part.
Yeah.
About the people that get through it, you know.
Logan, all I wanted was for one person to look me in my eyes and say, hey, kid, are you okay? I am so grateful to be alive. And I'm grateful today for every millisecond I get to breathe. Because it was almost all ripped from me by me.
What's one thing you would have said to your younger self? To the Kevin who was 19, sitting on the bus, if you were next to you, and instead of the guy who pointed and laughed, what would you say?
I would just put my hand on the I would just put my hand on my shoulder, and I would just say, I'm here for you.
That's all it
got you.
takes. You know, it's not like a whole
We need
mission
to be a
where
society
you have to
that
do
comes
this,
together
this. You just
for
have to
every person in the
be there.
community that's going through hell. And in order to do that, every person that's going through hell, whatever hell, has to be honest about their pain. And if they're going to be honest about their pain, we are going to collectively answer the call and be there for that individual. Because if you don't see beauty in the next person you meet, you're not looking hard enough.
You're incredible, dude. This is an honor for me.
It's an honor for me too, brother.
From this point on, I want to make an effort to contribute and immerse myself in the conversation, so I'm pledging to donate $1 million to various suicide prevention organizations, with the first $250,000 going immediately to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline so they can increase their capacity to help those in need. For anyone watching, I want you to know you are not alone, and most of the time, crisis passes. So if you or anyone you know feels alone or trapped, I encourage anyone to call or even text the suicide or crisis hotline. Both of those numbers are below, and although this is a tough conversation, it's important because things can and will get better. It's time to start a new chapter in my life as I continue to educate both myself and others on suicide. I'm humbled and thankful to say, this is just the beginning.
That's crazy. Call that if you're thinking about it. I think that's amazing. Like, what are you, like $1 million? It's crazy. But that's my reaction. If you guys didn't make it to the end, if you guys made it to the end, that's crazy. Thank you. This video was not fun or entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe for more content. If you guys want me to react to something, make sure you guys comment below what I should react to, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good day, guys. Somebody's there with you.